running back Saquon Barkley also due to become a free agent. He's got 5 years in. They did pick up the fifth-year option on him. And here's the danger with running backs.
I know.
You got 5 years in.
Yeah.
Wear and tear, injuries. It's inherent to the position. It's not inherent to the player. Very few guys are Emmitt Smith who can take that pounding and keep going no matter what. Marshawn Lynch, take that pounding, keep going no matter what. Guys get injured. Look at Christian McCaffrey's contract. Now, look, it's working out well for the 49ers. Didn't work out well for the Panthers. All that money they gave him, and what did they get? It's not him. It's the position. So what do you do if you're Saquon Barkley? He has said he's not looking to reset the market, which is good because he's not going to. He's not getting $17, $18 million a year. Running backs don't get that. They shouldn't get that. It's the nature of the position. And if running backs out there have a problem with it, you should have maybe picked a different position as Ben Tate. One of the many links in this chain of running backs that, at the time, they were guys you had to get on your fantasy team. I remember Ben Tate, second-round pick of the Texans out of Auburn, had a couple of good years, and then that was that. He said, man, I should have been a safety. And, that's one of the cruel realities of football. One of the positions that attracts the most athletic, the fastest, the best players on the team at the earliest stages of the sport, where it's as simple as give the ball to the best athlete and let him run circles around everyone, you end up becoming that player and you have a shortened career. You don't make as much money. You just got to resist that temptation when you're a kid and it's clear that you've got a high degree of skill that may parlay itself into a future in football, Chris.
Yeah, no, it's the brutal aspect of the sport. You're right. And there's a lot of players that are, I know of some high school players up here in the North Jersey area, other guys where, hey, could have been a big-time Division I running back. They said the hell with that because of what you're talking about. So I do think the younger generation is aware of that. But it is. It's cruel almost. It's sometimes why I wish, the running back position almost didn't count against the salary cap, because we see too much where we see guys who are unbelievable their first 3 or 4 years in the league, and they're one of the best running backs, the best players in the league, and then it comes time to get that contract, and they go, yep, but you ran between the tackles a whole lot, and you've been hit by cars in every which direction, so you're not a good investment anymore. And I do wish they could find a fine line in supporting some of these guys, because there's been a lot of great running backs who never saw a second payday because they got beat to shit in their first 4 years in the NFL.
And that's what happens because supply outweighs demand.
Yeah.
Every major college has a guy that could play at the NFL level, that can move the chains at the NFL level. We said this just yesterday. Block for him, trust him not to fumble, and trust him not to get the quarterback killed in blitz pickup. Those are the three ingredients that make for an acceptable NFL running back. And if you are the one running the ball, if you've got a great offensive line, this is something we talk about all the time. When your offensive line is great, your offensive line never gets mentioned. Who gets mentioned are the quarterback, the receivers, the tight end, and the running back. So you get a star running back who has a skill set that plenty of guys have. So he's out there. He becomes a star. Everybody buys his jersey. He's on the fantasy team. He's scoring touchdowns. This is great. And then, he's chewed up and spit out by the football machine, and in comes somebody else behind that great offensive line. So that's the challenge. Identifying the truly special running back and separating him from the lather, rinse, repeat, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or a committee approach. That became fashionable 15, 20 years ago. You have 3 guys. You rotate them in and out. You never have one guy that can hold you hostage at the bargaining table because you're spreading out the yards. You're spreading out the touchdowns. That drives fantasy football people crazy. That may be what the Giants do. Who knows? But it's going to be challenging to give Saquon Barkley what he deserves, because what he's done isn't relevant, Chris. What's relevant is what he's going to do. And nobody knows what he's going to do, especially once he gets paid.
Yeah, it's well, we don't know how much. I feel pretty safe to say he's going to still be damn good next year, right? Bearing an ACL injury, right? It's just that, yes, we're getting towards a time where you start to worry. Now, with Saquon Barkley, too, I think you would agree, he is one of those guys you look at and go, well, he's one of the freakiest people I've ever seen in my life. He might be able to hang around here longer than the normal guy. He might be able to be more like, your Adrian Peterson, your Emmitt Smith that you were kind of mentioning before, right? And I think the other thing that's good about Saquon Barkley is not necessarily a car crash runner, especially early in his career. More of a space runner, make you miss, break your ankles, do all that, to where other than the ACL, I don't think he's as beat up maybe as some fifth-year running backs or going into sixth-year running backs. So I surely hope he's back. I think he's still, top-notch. And as we saw this year, in space and got some holes this year, and they'll improve that offensive line more in this offseason. I think he still is going to be top running back in football conversation next year and maybe a year or two after that with the way his body is and the way he looks right now.
Yeah. The other reality, too, and this has gotten plenty of running backs paid over the years, the extent to which the fan base has fallen in love with the guy.
Yeah.
Can we bear to move on from him? He was a second overall pick in 2018. Even though that isn't Joe Shane or Brian Daboll, there's an institutional attachment to Saquon Barkley.
Sure.
How can we let Saquon Barkley go, especially after the year that he had? Look, they do need to work something out. He needs to come back. But the point is, with any running back, you never know how long it's going to last. Whether you're a rookie, whether you're a 60-year guy, whatever it can be and whenever it may happen, it can happen quickly. It's the nature of the position. The wheels can come off, and they will come off at some point. Very rarely do you see a guy just keep going and going like Frank Gore did, like Adrian Peterson did, like Emmitt Smith did. The careers are much shorter than that, and the Giants have to factor that in. And just like with Daniel Jones, it's got to be a 2-year commitment at most with Saquon Barkley before the Giants could just tear it up and move on if that's what they choose to do. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.